Alright, so the Battlesight Zero. This is actually something I learned in ArmA Reforger with the AK-74, where it was ranged by default to 440 meters. And the reason for that is basically you zero your gun to 400 or 440 meters, you aim at the waist belt, and you should have a reasonable chance to hit your target up to 400 or 440 meters. And so I thought I would apply this concept to Post Scriptum, and it actually works very well. So let me just do a little trial run with it. Okay, so as you can see, it seems to work pretty well. Let me just finish up these last targets. Okay, for some reason I keep missing that. There we go. And then out to, what is that, 400 meters? It should be right on. There we go. And then 500, it would just be a little bit of drop. So I hit that target. And I can't zoom in for more than 1 second. So, yeah. The only quirk with it is that up to 200 meters, you have to aim at their feet, just because the arc of the bullet, it'll go over their head if you're aiming at their waist belt. Just like that. But it works really well, actually, even with snipers. So, let me grab a rifle, zero out to 400. Sorry, 400. Now 500, which should just be a little bit of counting for drop. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going too high or too low for that one. I think I'm going too low. There we go. 600 meters. So, yeah, and it also works really well. So one thing I noticed though is that because of that 200 meter bullet arc, weapons that have lower zoom, I range out to 300 meters, just because it's more of a practical engagement distance for these kind of weapons, like the semi-autos or the STG. So let me just show the 300 meter one. So here you are still aiming for the waist belt out to 200 meters, and you don't have to aim at their feet at 200 meters, so aim at the waist belt and you're still hitting them. But then at the 300 meters, you aim on target and you hit. Let me just get a faster reloading weapon, just because these reloads take forever in this game. Alright, 300 meters. Aiming at the waist, up to 200, and then 300, aiming dead on target. There we go. And then 400 meters, I would just account for a little bit of drop and target down. So yeah, like I mentioned, with the STG, you have a lot less zoom. Like, look at that. So for the STG, I just range it out to 300 meters. And then I can barely even see that 300 meter target, but I should just have to aim dead on target, and I hit it. Yep, there we go. And then everything up there, then I start accounting for drop. It also works really well for submachine guns. I'll start with the Thompson first. So 45 ACP, heavy, slow bullet, has a lot of drop. And also one thing about the Thompson in this game is that the sights are just kind of dog shit because they take up so much space on your screen. So I like to range for 250, and I have a nice clear sight picture, and then I just aim for the waist. And then what is that, 200 meters? Yeah, so that's when you start aiming on target. And then further out, you have to start accounting for drop. Which, I mean, it's a submachine gun. Makes sense. That small target... Oh, I hit it. Perfect. It works for the MP40 also, because you can zero this to 200 meters. I can't even... Oh, I hit it. There we go. Okay. It also works with some pistols, too. So the C96, you can actually range it out. Because it's 9mm, I range it out to 200 meters. And that works for, you know, practical pistol ranges. So... There we go. And it also works for the high power. Or, well, the German version of the high power. The 640B. Because this also has ranging up to, what, 500 meters? But, yeah, I just use 200 for 9mm. So... might as well go up to 250. It's impossible to tell if I'm hitting too high or too low. Oh, there we go. Alright, cool. So that's a 300-meter pistol shot. Yeah, and that's basically it. It also works with machine guns. I guess I'll just show this off real quick. What's really nice about machine guns is that you can see your tracer. So, if you want to just rip it off in full auto, you can do your 300 meter and aim for the waist belt up to 200 or 300 meters. But since you're a machine gun, you do have the capability for longer range. So. And yeah, it increases your range, makes hitting targets a lot easier, in my opinion, especially at range. And it doesn't require a whole lot of thinking. You just aim for the waist, and you have a high probability of hitting your target. So let me just grab a random gun here. Grab this. I think this is a single shot rifle, so let's try it on this one. Go for the small target too. Yep. I missed that one, but I think it's just because I wasn't aligned. Yep, there we go. And let me just grab a Springfield. 0 to 400. And I'll put myself just, I don't know, somewhere out here. Really amazing level design. And so, there you go. I think you get the point. Let me see if I can go, like how far I can really take this. I think I'm hitting... There we go. Yeah, so it makes ranging shots a lot easier. And let me also show the M1 carbine. Just because this thing only is... What does this zero out to? 300? Yeah. So this kind of works like how I mentioned earlier. the more practical infantry engagement range. So you just aim at the waist belt up to like 300 or 200 meters. And then at the 300, you just aim on target, and boom.